Oh, I see you've clicked on a video that has me explain how I personally process spoken word. If you've been a viewer of my channel for a while, you might be thinking, didn't you already do a video about this? The answer is yes, but my process has changed. It always changes. I'm constantly evolving, trying new things and finding faster and more efficient ways of doing it, and better ways of explaining it. So, this is my current way. June 2025, July 2025, I don't know. Whenever you're watching this, this is when this video is done. June. It's more nerd. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm just some guy.
He's just some guy.
Let's get right down to business. So, assuming I have a clean voice recording that was recorded in a good sounding room, had good levels, and is ready for The Shining, here's what I'll do next. Inside my DAW of choice, in my case it's Studio One, I'll import the audio I'm working on and then start with a limiter on the master bus. Then I'll crank the input a bit. The limiter is there to increase the volume of the recording immediately so I can better hear issues and also to ensure I don't peak out while I'm playing around. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls with golden... And now for the processing on the track I'm working on. In this case, it's my own voice. Hey, hallelujah. I always work on voice recordings with headphones. Mine are the Sony MDR 7506s. I know them well. You might like doing this on monitors, but I find it much easier to closely listen to everything in a trusted pair of cans that you know very well. Okay, onward. The first thing I like to do is a mouth declick plugin. I've always used Isotope RX mouth declick as my plugin of choice here because I have it. I'm using RX8, which at the time of this video is 3 versions behind the current RX11. I really need to update that, but I'm waiting till, RX12 comes out and then I'll do the update. The mouth declick will lessen the sounds of lips smacking and air bubbles and other annoying and disgusting mouth sounds that can become distracting. Just the default setting is a great starting point. Sometimes I'll use the widener or increase the sensitivity if the mouth noises are particularly gnarly. Then comes noise removal. The noise removal is used to take the equipment self-noise and the room tone out of the audio, at least most of it, especially if there's issue. Sometimes I'll take as much noise out of a voice as I can before it starts sounding artifacty. But also, sometimes I'll sample some of that noise or room tone, loop it, add it to itself, and then use crossfades and just make a noise file. And then kind of keep it as a separate track underneath so I can control the levels of room tone myself, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. It'll hide edits if I'm looking to do that. This trick is done regularly with production dialogue for movies and TV. Grab 30 seconds or a minute of total raw silence, what we call room tone, and then loop it with crossfades for as long as is needed. This will hide cuts and edits, as I said. Room tone is never totally silent. Every room has its own non-silent sound. The air, the lights, the walls, the appliances, the house or office, the mic self-noise, the preamp, the position of the mic inside all that with the walls and everything. It all has its own sound. For Audible audiobooks, ACX, they require a noise floor no quieter than -90 dB. So this might be a good time to add a controlled noise floor at -89 dB across the board. Unless you're very good with crossfades, this is something you can do so you can hide all your edits. It sounds pro. It sounds like you did it all in one read, and that noise floor continues along there. That's good. But for this type of video I'm doing right now, I'm just removing a little noise and will not be replacing it. So I won't be using that method. I hate noise gates with a passion. I'm passionate about it. I joined clubs. I've raised money for them. Yeah. If you can work magic with a gate without creating audible artifacts, then have at it. I cannot. I always hear gate artifacts and I hate them. That's why I joined the club. Anyway, lately I've been using Waves Clarity VX for noise reduction. It's always on sale for under $49. I'll dial that anywhere from, 10% to 35 or more, whatever it needs, and it usually does the trick without creating artifacts. As soon as it does, dial it back a bit until it's acceptable. I'd rather a little bit of noise coming through than to hear it kicking on and off and weird artifacty sounds, right? I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. So now we've removed mouth clicks and reduced potential noise. Next is a de-esser. I quite enjoy Soothe 2 as a de-esser, but you can use any de-esser you like. Some s and ch sounds are painful to listen to on headphones and other devices, so they got to be beaten down and subdued, insulted. You need to break them as a person, but only if needed. Some mics are very sibilant. They'll really accentuate that S and ch, and some aren't sibilant at all. Some voices are sibilant, even without a mic. Some aren't sibilant at all. My voice is not usually sibilant, but I have my moments. Listen for sibilants and determine if it hurts your ears. Then use as much as necessary or none at all, depending on the voice. Sinister sibilance usually lurks between 4 kHz and 6 kHz, and some even as high as 8 kHz. It's good practice to know your headphones, as I said earlier, so you'll know when to use a de-esser and how much to use, and when not to use any at all. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls, from ribbon. Okay, moving on. Next is Subtractive EQ. Now, this is very tricky because it requires a trained ear. Click the link in the description below and join Sound Gym and train your ears. This video isn't sponsored by them or anything, but I do get a small commission if you use my link. And by using my link, I'll finally be able to buy a shiny new red bicycle for young Timmy. Or pay my electricity bill. Either or, both are equally as dire. Anyway, when I hear a voice recording, I listen for the problem areas. They hurt to listen to. Every voice is different and every mic is different. With my voice, some mics accentuate my problem areas, which are usually between 1 kHz and 2.5 kHz in that area. And some mics don't have any issues at all. Let me be very clear here. You do not need to always do subtractive EQ. This is only to be used if the recording needs it. My favorite plugin for Subtractive EQ is FabFilter Pro Q4. It's got everything you could possibly need built right in. But any parametric EQ will work for basic dips here and there. For this part, the first thing I do is take out the low-end rumble. It's just not needed. Just a quick high-pass filter somewhere around, 80 hertz or a little below on a deep voice. And maybe higher, like 100 or 110 or something like that on a higher voice. Just make sure it's not cutting into the fundamental frequencies. That's the lowest frequency. The low frequency cut or the high pass is the only subtractive EQ that is always needed. I always use it, always, because that low-end rumble that sometimes happens is just unneeded, and better be safe than sorry and throw on a high pass right there. All right, so next, I already know where the resonant issues are because I've been hearing them poking at my ears all along. And because I've trained my ears, I know just where to make the cuts. Can I hear the boxy sound of a room? I'll try and take a little out at around 300 to 500 hertz, depending on where it is. Too boomy? Find the boom and reduce that frequency. Harsh mids? Find that frequency and reduce it by a bit. Not too much, because then it gets weird. I try to be very subtle with this. Too much, then it begins to sound, wrong. Sometimes I need too much of a cut, and it'll sound weird and bad. So then I switch to spectral mode in Pro Q4, and this is one of those functions that most other EQs don't have. It works like Soothe 2, and it just takes out the resonances. It just reduces resonances in your selected areas by as much as you need, and only when it's a problem, leaving non-resonant frequencies untouched. This should be a whole video talking about this. It's too much to cover in this one, so I'm just going to keep moving. In a nutshell, I'm looking for an even sound without any harsh or overbearing frequencies that can cause listeners fatigue. And again, you may not require subtractive EQ at all, other than a high pass. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with gold small diaphragms, each one's a sonic telegram. Condensers whisper, tell your tale, while dynamics. Next is compression. I've been using Tone Booster's Compressor 4 a lot lately, but any transparent compressor will work for this. And when I say transparent, I mean that the compressor doesn't add any harmonic saturation to the signal. Compressors like the LA2A or the 1176 or Tube Tech are known for adding some harmonic saturation. Basically, it's distortion. This is great for musical applications, but usually not good on spoken word. So using a clean compressor is key here. Now, some people like the sound of compression, others don't, and some people aren't able to hear the difference yet. With spoken word, I only like a little bit of transparent compression to help keep all the sounds more even and level, like a soft 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 with a medium attack and a medium fast release. I'll be doing a video just on compression soon, so I won't go into too much detail here. It's a lot. We just want to soften up the voice and make it more even. The quiet parts will get a little louder and the loud parts will get a little quieter. I love compression, and with the right settings, I think it really helps make everything sound professional. With the wrong settings or with too much compression, it sounds far too artificial. Humble boast, it's hearing truth through capsule glass, the breath, the life, and the gassy brass. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small, I set my compressors by ear and feel, not by sight or numbers. I don't really work with numbers for anything. I'm the opposite of Julian Krauss. Or more aptly put, if Julian Krauss was toast, I'd be the butter. Sure, you can have toast without butter. It's filling and nutritious, but it's a bit dry. You also can't just have butter because that's disgusting. But together, we form Voltron. Honestly, I love Julian's channel. Big fan over here. He's right about everything he says. And he is as honest as they come. So if you watch him, keep watching him because I do too. Anyway, a compressor reduction of about 1 to 3 dB is plenty. You can also increase the makeup gain here by just a little. Bringing up your signal a bit helps the next plugin work efficiently. Gain staging, man. But you don't need to. It's just, if it's a low signal, then that's when you do it. It's a sonic telegram. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. Finally, we use Additive EQ. This is the fun part because you can now hear it all come together. All your work, it comes together. This is where I usually try to add a little sparkle to the top end. I've used so many different plugins for this part. I cycle through them all the time. Waves Omnichannel 2, SPL PQ, Model N Channel, Kive Audio N Fuse, SSL channel strips, free ones, stock ones, and even outboard processing if I'm feeling saucy. Every voice is different. On my voice, I know to be careful between 1 kHz and 2.5 kHz, so I usually don't touch this area. But I've worked on many voice mic combos where a 2 kHz bump sounds wonderful. On my voice and on many mics, I love me a good 7.2K bump and a 12K or higher shelf. But some mics paired with my voice enjoy a 10K bump or shelf, or maybe a 6K bump. For this mic, the Atlantis, I like the 7.2 and the 12K, but that high shelf can even be higher if you want. For example, The SPL-PQ has a wonderful 24K airband that really opens a voice up when you use it. I like to play around and hear how it all sounds. And I change my mind all the time because it's just how I'm feeling. Just how I'm feeling, right? Here's the SLP 538 EQ from Purified. This is a really cool EQ, actually. And I'm using this right now, I think. I don't know. The voice you're hearing was recorded like yesterday, and the screen you're seeing is recorded, well, it's all in the past for you, so we're distant memories here. Anyway, the SLP 538 EQ from Purified, right? Remember, the objective here is to create a pleasing sound that is easy to listen to. And don't overdo it. It's much like editing a JPEG photo or an 8-bit video. Some mics, when pushed too hard one way or the other in post, it falls apart. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small diaphragms, each one's a sonic telegram. Condensers whisper, tell your tale, while dynamics bark through sleet and hail. A lav, though shy. So there we go. The last thing that needs doing is to raise the output to the required LUFS or RMS for delivery for whatever it is you're doing. For this, I use a limiter. Any true peak limiter will work. I've been using the Tone Boosters Barricade 4 lately. Clean and accurate. You'll need to keep an eye on the readout and make sure you're within your target parameters, whatever those targets are. A whole other video on limiters and compressors. Maybe 2. I don't know. Anyway. And that's it. Hopefully you understood that. Hopefully you did. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small diaphragms, each one's a sonic. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small diaphragms, each one's a sonic telegram. Condensers whisper, tell your tale, while dynamics bark through sleet and hail. A lav, though shy, still does its part, unless it catches one small fart. In booths I sit, my headphones tight, adjusting gain with pure delight. Each plosive puff, each sibilant hiss, I tame them all, audio bliss. But ask me what I love the most? Not fame, nor pay, nor humble boast. It's hearing truth through capsule glass, the breath, the life, and the gassy brass. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned arc through sleet and hail. A lav, though shy, still does its part, unless it catches one small fart. In booths I sit, my headphones tight, adjusting gain with pure delight. Each plosive puff, each sibilant hiss, I tame them all, audio bliss. But ask me what I love the most? Not fame, nor pay, nor humble boast. It's hearing truth through capsule glass, the breath, the life, and the gassy brass. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small diaphragms, each one's a sonic telegram. Condensers whisper, tell your tale, while dynamics bark through sleet and hail. A lav, though shy, still does its part, unless it catches one small fart. In booths I sit, my headphones tight, adjusting gain with pure delight. Each plosive puff, each sibilant hiss, I tame them all. Audio bliss. But ask me what I love the most? Not fame, nor pay, nor humble boast. It's hearing truth through capsule glass, the breath, the life, and the gassy brass. I cradle mics like sacred scrolls, with golden caps and phantom souls. From ribboned curls to small diaphragms, each one's a sonic telegram. Condensers whisper, tell your tale, while dynamics bark through sleet and hail. A lav, though shy, still does its part, unless it catches one small fart. In booths I sit, my headphones tight. Be sure to come back next year when my process will be entirely different. Did I say next year? Crap, I meant next week. I shot this very video a week in the past, so you're looking at outdated information already. One never knows with me. It's like watching a supernova explode in the sky. Sure, it would be a much talked about current event, but it happened 642 years ago. So, is that it? Oh, the measuring tape bit. Right. You know, this measuring tape was once owned by an unstable person known only as John Doe. He used it to measure a box he arranged to be delivered to a detective named David Mills outside city limits. David didn't like what was in the box. He kept yelling out, "Oh, what's in the box, man? What's in the box?" See, John Doe was envious. I have no idea how this ended up in my possession. I have no idea. Anyway, that'll just about do it for all of me here at the Time Preservation Society. Fart. Bye now. In transmission. Well, I got through that video. It worked. Did it work for you? I hope so. Thank you very much. This has been the Atlantis. Sounds so good. Anyway, bye.